Scrapbookers, this is Katie Scott and my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking, and this month of December 2013 I am making December daily videos every day, but I'm going to be sharing my December daily and Christmas scrapbooking in a very special way today. But before I can let you know what that is, and if you're watching this after today, I'll leave a note in the comments with a link. But I wanted to look back at December past. So this morning, this greeted me when I went downstairs. My daughter is very anxious for Christmas to arrive this year because she wants her presents. She knows that I have them, and she knows all the secrets. But I've also told her she needs to be patient. So that's her countdown to Christmas. So this will be going into the book December Daily for 2013. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to include it because it's a little bit larger than the 8x8 format that I'm using, but I'm sure I'll figure it out and it will be just fine. And I will get back to my December Daily album and sharing that with you in another video. So I have on my YouTube channel there is a section, I think it's called December Daily and Christmas Scrapbooking, all about December Daily albums. So you can go to that playlist and watch any or all of them if you wish. So it was hard for me, so someone asked me today to remember what I've done in the past and what I've liked and what I haven't liked. And when I started December Daily, and I think Ali Edwards started her December Daily concept in 2008, and I believe I was an early adopter. I think I latched on. I think I was like, oh, I love it. This is 2009, and I'm just going to go through the album and show you what I did and what I like and what I don't like. So I used to scrapbook in magnetic albums, and this was a magnetic album, and I took all the magnetic pages out of it, but I like to be thrifty, and I was like, well, it's still a 3-ring binder, so I could probably still use it for something. So I had 3 of these, and I used them for my December Daily albums before I started with the 8x8 American Craft size. So this is the size I'm at now, and have been probably at least since 2011, but maybe since 2010, I'm not sure. So this is 2009, and what I like about this format is there is a lot of room. I liked that, and so I could use, like, this is a 12 by 12 paper by Jenny Bolin, and I could use that as my opener. And you know what I would like to do? Can I just say how much I love washi tape? But I think washi tape would kind of help this page a little, just to reinforce it. And one thing you can do with washi tape is just to, whoops, I'm just trying to get the right color. So here's some silver washi tape. This is by Scotch Brand. And I also think that once you've finished with your December Daily, it doesn't mean you have to be totally finished. Like, you can always add things to it later, like I'm doing right now, which I totally didn't plan to do, but I actually think that this washi is going to help just reinforce this page a little bit. And this page was looking a little bare anyways. So I think it's totally okay to go back, and I could do that on the front too if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to at this point. So just little tweaks. There we go. Okay. So this was 2009, and back in 2009 I really wasn't blogging about my December Daily process, and I'll show you what I did do though. Is I started my blog in 2007, and it used to be mostly pictures and stories, and then it was always about with, I was always talking about scrapbooking, but I wasn't always sharing my scrapbooking. So I printed out in the last part of this December Daily album, I printed out my blog from, it looks like I printed it out in December 2010, but it's about December 2009. So, just photo collages. And I was using Picasa even back then. I used this free program from Google called Picasa. But I did a lot of writing. I wrote about throwing parties and the guests for Christmas Eve dinner and, different people in my family and what they were up to. I also wrote about, it looks like I wrote about when I was in college, which was more than 10 years ago, that was a longer time ago. My menu for Christmas Eve dinner and how I make the baked stuffed shrimp that I make. That is a family tradition. And by printing out my blog, it didn't print in color, but I could have printed it in color. But it's still on my blog. It's still the same blog, Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking. It's a typepad blog. We made a Play-Doh Mr. Hanky from South Park. Yeah, craziness. I did some regular scrapbooking. Let's see. And so I just wrote about, and I just printed out the whole entire blog. So I like that. And from time to time I do print out my blog. And I just print it out on regular typing paper. And the reason that I do that is around 1999 to the year 2000, there was this was like way before Facebook. But there used to be this site called myfamily.com, and it still may exist, but it went from a free site to a paid site, and that's when I kind of stopped using it. But when I stopped using it, we lost all of that content, and I had a My Family site for my family, but also for my high school class. And so it was like Facebook before Facebook was invented. And so we were all on it, but all of that content was lost except that I printed it out. So I still have it. I did that for those. So whenever I blog or put anything on Facebook or put anything out there in the internet, I'm always of the assumption that, yeah, it's a computer, I'm sure it'll be there, but how easily can I access it? Especially if it's a site, like I blog on Typepad, and what if Typepad doesn't exist anymore? Like, where will that be? So it's just nice to have a hard copy. Anyways, this is 2009, so these are our annual Christmas photos out on the beach. We have yet to do that this year. And the thing that I love about this album is I did include all this journaling back here. The thing I don't so much love is the journaling is not incorporated into the scrapbook album. And I guess I could literally like cut and paste, like actually cut and paste and put the information with the pictures, but I think I'm just gonna leave that. So there will be like little tweaks that I do just for fun, but I don't really take on the huge project of reorganizing this. Maybe someday, not today. This year we have a new tradition. Every year Advent the Snowman will bring a family gift in the month of December. Dear Scott family, my name is Advent the Snowman, and I'll be with you the whole month of December. And so I did a present every day that December, and I like pre-planned it, and all of Advent's presents, like he and I conferred before December began. And this is a tradition that we still have now. It looks like my daughter was in kindergarten, so I included part of her newsletter. I included photos from Thanksgiving, and each person is holding up like just a pad of paper, and they wrote down what they were thankful for. So it looks like I was using the December daily format of each layout was like a day. So, and I used these, this was from a piece of pattern paper. I think it was Making Memories. It was grandfather's 89th birthday. This year it was his 93rd. And then I included my daughter's signature. I don't know if you can see that very well. And so I was journaling a little bit, but not enough. Like, I had the spot for the journaling here, and I could do that now. I might do that. But let me just do it just to show you that I actually do this. Okay, so this was the St. Pete fake ice rink. And so they had this like ice rink that was like glice. I'll just say apparently made of glice. It's like ice, but it's not ice. We're in Florida, and so we don't have ice here. Anyways, Allison and I loved the glice skating. Charlie abstained. He's like my abstainer. He abstained from Halloween trick-or-treating this year too. And Mac fell and hurt his back with the ice skate. And to this day, remembers this painful experience vividly. And I'm just going to put love, Mom. And I'll write the date that I wrote this. So it is 12/10/2013. And then I just write photos. It looks like December 2nd, 2000, where were we, 2009? Yes, 2009. So you can go back and do the journaling. I don't think it's as good as doing the journaling while you're doing it, but it's better than nothing, you know? And so there are definitely a lot of spots in this album that I could go back and do, and I just need to do that. So that was a cold year, I remember that. A family photo. We all dressed up in hats, and here we are making cookies, and it looks like I'm using Christmas cards as this is a Christmas card as the mat for that photo. And I've used pattern paper as my pages. And so some of these I'm using page reinforcers, but I think that one of the things, if I were to go back and kind of tweak this album, I would definitely put more journaling in, even though I'm doing it from today's perspective. And I would add washi tape to reinforce the pages, which it looks like I've done on some of them, but not all of them. Rock climbing. And so, you know, I feel like this is almost like what I call a half-baked page, where I put the photos and the background, but I haven't added journaling, embellishment, or a title. So some of these I could really go back and tweak. Although I'm not exceptionally motivated to do that. I think I want to, but it's not high on my list. Now this was the year that I had there was an article about me in First for Women magazine. Look at this. And it was called How Scrapbooking Saved My Marriage. And I guess I had been doing videos, and back in, I don't know, 2007, 2008, and one of my videos, and it's probably still on YouTube, but on one of my other channels. I've got 2 or 3 or 4 YouTube channels. I wish I could merge them. I don't know how to do that. But anyways, I had written about you know, the power of scrapbooking and how it can help your relationships, especially your marriage, because if you focus on good things, whatever you focus on expands. So anyways, that was when this came out, was the December issue of First for Women magazine in 2009, and it has a readership of 3.5 million people. And so that was a photograph of the magazine, and I'm not sure if I have some of those actual magazines, and I should probably like put one into the back of this album because I think it will fit. And so I wrote all about that experience of getting an article written about me, and it was so exciting because I talked to the interviewer several times on the phone, and then they had like a professional makeup artist come to the house, and like they had one of those like spray it was like spray on makeup air, I don't know what you call it, but it was very high-tech makeup and hair, and it was just real fancy. So there I am, in a professional photographer, and actually they took the picture where I'm sitting right now, so that's kind of cool. I don't look that fancy today though. And then here is, I like to do retrospectives, so this was just scrapbook albums that I had made back then, and it looks like I had this printed. So this, I made this photo collage in Picasa, but then I sent it out to Walgreens or wherever I did it. Here I am in the checkout line with my magazine. How exciting. But those are 12 layouts that I made in 2009. And this one was the first Ella Publishing. So you scrapbook nerds out there like me, I'm a scrapbook nerd for sure. But Ella Publishing, who was created by Angie Lucas and Lane Amen, and is now a part of Big Picture Classes. But they had Ella Publishing, and so their first, like, every month they had a magazine that was free, and then they also had books that they would sell. But this was the cover of their very first magazine. I'll show you that. So I was really excited to be part of, and I was an Ella friend for their first year. And I just adore Angie Lucas. I think she's one of the smartest girls, smartest ladies in scrapbooking. She's just like, she says that she's just inherently, like, she learned something and then she's got to teach it. And she's a really good teacher. So I think Big Picture, if you're listening, more classes from Angie Lucas, please. Because she's really an amazing teacher. Looks like we had hamsters back then. Those are photos of the tree. And I showed this album to the kids this morning before they went off to school, and the parts that they were so interested in were their own handwriting, and they wanted to see if they could still read it. And so, like, my son was almost late for school, which is unfortunately not unusual, but he wanted to spend a lot of time, like, reading his Christmas list from 2009. So I think it's really important to include those types of things. I've got lots of pictures here. It looks like I really was thinking I'm going to write, because I included spaces for journaling, but I just didn't do it, and I don't know why. But that is a regret. I wish I would have. I think what was happening is I was doing most of my journaling on my blog. And so my blog, like if you look at my blog from 2007, 2008, 2009, even into 2010, it was much more personal stories than it is now. It's mostly about scrapbooking, so I tell my personal stories through scrapbooking. But back in my early days of my blog, it was more like the blog was the scrapbook. I was also scrapbooking, but I wasn't merging the two like I do now. And some of the days it looks like they're empty. I do have a whole hoard of Christmas photos, so I could probably go back and fill in some more photos. But I think I really would like to go back and add some of the words. I feel a little bit more motivated to do that. I also used page protectors that accommodated 3 4x6 photos. And I think at this point I was using Picasa, but not as my daily way to record things. So I think I probably put this album together a little bit after the fact. And so I really love Picasa and printing at home for being able to do my December daily on the day that it happened instead of afterwards. So I would say that there's a benefit to printing at home. Looks like I was using lots of different sizes. That's fun. And I was including a lot of like our handwriting and our art and stuff like that. I also that year, and that was my old sewing machine that I love so much, but I made these lavender sachets, and those went over real big. They smelled amazing. They really did. I ordered like a huge quantity of lavender, and I made these little pillows and all sorts of things with lavender, filled with lavender, and they smelled so good. And there's our actual Mr. Hanky ornament. It's probably wrong how much we like Mr. Hanky. He's a character from South Park, and I don't know. It's, yeah. Okay, this was the year. And see, this needs some journaling, because if you just saw this picture, you wouldn't know what this napkin with the, you might think that was more Mr. Hanky, but it wasn't. These were pictures of carrots for the reindeer, because we went to set out the cookies and milk for Santa, and then we realized, oh my gosh, we don't have any carrots, so my daughter drew pictures of carrots on a napkin. And we still had our dogs back then. So it's fun to see what stayed the same and what's changed. I even included like a insert from a toy, Baby Alive. She didn't last long. Baby Alive. Yeah, feed your doll and see how long the doll lasts. Not very long. Grammy and Grandfather. And Daddy got a Ken doll that year so he could play with Allison. She didn't want him to be playing with the Barbies. New bikes. We had a good year that year. I'm gonna just turn off this alarm over here. Hold on. Okay. And a picture of our family that my daughter drew, and then it goes through all of the blogs. So that is December 2009, and I will be back for another video. I have a few more to show you. That's that one. I have the Christmas Memories book to show, and then a few more albums like this one. It looks like this is, okay, this is 2010. I really thought I was on to the 8x8 size by then, but I think I might have started the 8x8 size in 2011, which I think was my best December daily so far. And then this one looks like random. So I will be back with more Christmas memories and December dailies. Thank you for watching. My name is Katie Scott, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This month I'm putting out videos every day showing my December daily process. So this is what I call an album share, but most of what you'll see this month will be actually making the pages. So thank you for watching.